Good morning, viewers. Welcome to MCU Moment on MCU TV. My name is Shei Alibe. Today, I'm going to be talking about the NUC unbundling. Well, as part of the repositioning and revitalization of university education in Nigeria, the National University Commission has unbundled mass communication as a degree program into separate degree programs, making mass communication to be a full facility. The mass communication has been unbundled into journalism and media studies, public relation, advertising, broadcasting, film and multimedia studies, information and media, development communication studies, and mass communication. Today in the studio, I have with me Dr. Victoria Pila, Professor Barigbon Ireka, and Professor Victor Koga, who are the NUC accreditators of the Mass Communication Program in McPherson University. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma.
Thanks for having us.
Hope you had a stress-free trip to McPherson University.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, going straight into today's business. Please, why the unbundling? Why is mass communication being unbundled?
Yeah, mass communication has been unbundled into 9.
Okay.
9. The whole idea is that mass communication, when taken as a program, does not afford the student their ability to go as deep as the student should. So when you unbundle, you have specialized areas. So you go into any of these specialized areas by your choice. Is it PRO? Is it DevCom studies? Is it information and multimedia studies? Is it film and multimedia studies? Is this journalism and media studies? So each of these areas is a whole department of its own. In fact, we cannot even exhaust the resources and the riches of each of these areas. So when mass comm is taken just as a program like this, there are some areas you cannot cover. You know, in education, the higher you go, the more of your deficiencies you see. Somebody who has now got a PhD in any discipline will now, instead of saying, oh, I've arrived, will now see that there is a lot of areas to explore, even in that discipline. So unbundling affords the graduate to be a specialist in a particular area. And as a specialist professional, you know more in that very area where you have found yourself. So when we're doing mass communication, well, it was good for the Nigerian system because outside the shores, the more specialized a professional, the better for them. In fact, you can take a topic in broadcasting. Let's say educational broadcasting. You can have a PhD outside. But in our own case, we're modeling things together. Well, it wasn't really bad for us at that stage. Now we have risen, and we feel that with this unbundling, we'll be able to give our best in each of the professional areas within the entire gamut of mass communication.
Well, a lot of people feel like having mass communication in one, having all of this in one, affords people to know little about everything in mass communication. Are you sure you're not taking away that opportunity for people to also know a little about broadcasting, know a little about PR, know a little about journalism?
That is why we have a
For want
faculty
of
programs.
time.
Yes.
Because we're leaving here very soon
Yeah.
to face more areas. I'm of Imo State University, Owerri. I'm the current head of broadcasting under the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies. And like what he said, somebody who elects to read broadcasting under the Department of Broadcasting can decide to concentrate more on television. The other person can go for radio. But like what you said, every student that comes into that faculty, communication and media studies, has opportunity to register many courses, including courses completely out of his own department. Yeah, journalism, broadcasting, advertising, but he or she will major in broadcasting. That's the area of concentration.
And you have
So
faculty
you have
courses.
lost nothing.
Yes.
Just nothing, virtually nothing.
And of course, to add to what both of them have said, education evolves. And so we're not just remaining in one place, we are now evolving. So with the way everything is evolving, that's why the unbundling came about. So that people can, just like they have said, major in public relations, advertising, broadcasting, film and multimedia studies,
yes.
information and media, and then
Development
development communication, and then the main mass communication as it used to be. So just like they have all said, no one is losing anything.
You are not.
Because even as it is unbundled into 9 specific programs, you know that we're talking about mass communication. And nobody starts eating a fruit from inside. You start eating from a portion. You start eating from a portion, and then from the portion you get to the crux of the matter. So in taking the bits, you get to have all that you needed to study as mass communication.
So all you said today is saying you're now making mass communication easier and more
exactly.
And more productive.
More productive.
More because you, as for the other question, you have faculty courses. So you are not doing just what is in your own department. Just like general studies courses in a university. You could be in the sciences, but you are going for something in the humanities and things to make you a total person.
And that is part of why the National Universities Commission thought about entrepreneurship. You know that even if you come into a university, whatever program you're doing, you have to study entrepreneurship. That makes you veritable to do anything, even after graduation. You are good to start any business that you want to start.
All right.
So by what you have here is about 7. It's actually 9.
Okay.
Is
Yes.
that some are even 6, so
No, you can
depending on the
resources available.
resources.
When you want.
Resources, because you can't jump into 9 when
you don't have the
afford.
resources.
Like ours is 4. Ours is 4.
Yeah,
We're
is 6.
even querying the addition of mass com again, that you say you have unbundled. I hope we are not on air. We're querying that. When I attended one of the
We are
workshops here,
partially on air.
yeah, we are partially on air. Are you sure we are not in Unilag as we are? So I asked during a workshop session, say, why mass com again?
Since
So
we
what
said we are unbundling
I was told was
from
that one was political. How political is maybe for the sake of our DAP, that for private universities that may not unbundle in good time. And I said, it should have been a matter of just directing.
Okay.
Go ahead with your mass com until you are
They're
ready
able to
for
unbundle.
unbundling. So the addition of mass com, some of us
see
will not
it
really
as
fancy
a-
it. We don't fancy it. But it's been good. It's been
It's been good. We may not entertain more questions.
Let's hear what he has to say,
Okay.
no matter how small.
Okay.
She wants to
This
say
is the last
something.
question.
Okay.
So, how will the faculty and resources be reallocated or expanded to accommodate the introduction of these separate courses? Like, how will it be expanded? How will universities now be able to accommodate all this? Because it's like renovating
Yes.
mass com. It's like, sectioning. You're already sectioning it. So,
Okay.
how are universities going to accommodate this? Because some universities have not accommodated it yet. So,
Well, when we eventually unbundled
all right.
at the instance of a new NUC, that was this year, not even last year. So what I'm trying to say is that if you come to read mass com, there are those introductory courses which you must register for to give you good foundation.
Okay.
Introduction to mass media, or what they call writing for the mass media, introduction to mass communication, history of mass media, and so on and so forth. You are bound to do it because it will give you background knowledge. You always hear of Iwe Irohin,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
Iwe Irohin, Henry Townsend.
And graphic.
So you also read the graphics of communication and the rest of them. So, but it will give you sufficient knowledge to be well grounded.
Thank
And
you.
then part of
Then-
what we are, sorry, part of why we are here, we're not just looking at just the paperwork, we're also looking at the finances of the university.
Okay.
So by the time we ask the HOD to give us information from the bursary, we know what gets into the department. You know, so we know whether the department is having enough or is not having enough. And in which case, if, like what Prof had said, Professor Victor had said, if you're not able to start with the 9 unbundling into 9 or 7, you start little by little, depending on the resources that you have, the university has. So if the allocation is enough to start with 2, 3, 4 of those programs under MASCOM, they will. So that's part of what we are here for too, to look at the material and human resources, and then even the finance aspect of it.
In my own system, Rivers State University, we have approval for 5 of the programs, but we have taken off with 4. And for what you were saying about how would yes, it's not all universities that may end up unbundling. Even if they do, maybe very few, that the facilities and equipment they have and the manpower can handle, yes. So in our own case, the HOD of public relations is actually the HOD of public relations and advertising. What some universities do is to merge for managerial purposes. Then, but you will give degrees in the component programs. So you could be HOD public relations and advertising. Then, but at the on graduation, the student may go for advertising. So you give separate degrees. That's what NUC actually wants. Initially, some professionals were saying these two should be merged as one program, and they say no. That one is not enough specialization. So, but for administrative purposes, you can merge some of this. We have development communication studies, and what the HOD of that is always doing is to promote development communication studies, which is not really popular to students at the undergraduate level, but at the master's level or PhD, that one is known. So, it can be done. There is no big deal about it, but you do what you have can carry.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Ma, for giving us insights on the unbundling. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you've gotten 1 or 2 information on the unbundling. See you again next time. My name is Shea Ali.